Hello, saber enthusiasts, and welcome to this little review of my latest build. I give you my second interpretation of the Crossguard V2 from Korbanth. Quite an interesting saber with the crystal reveal. A bit heavy to my taste with the steel core, but anyways, it's still an interesting saber, especially for trooping or to have it as a shelf queen. I wouldn't recommend it for actually fighting with it. But that being said, it has the accuracy mods and it has a few features. It actually runs on the Proffieboard V2.2. It's my first V2.2 install. It's quite easier than the V1.5. That's something I really have to give to Fredrik for the new version. It still could be improved, but that's not interesting. What's interesting is that we have here a crossguard with actually tri-LEDs on the side blades. They're not blades, they're vents. I call them Kaleïns because that's how they're called, but most people say side blades. And the main blade is actually in Neopixel. That's interesting. That means it requires a lot of drain power on the battery, and the battery is going to drain very quickly. So you need a swappable battery in order to troop with it. But it has a lovely crystal reveal, so why not have both? I mean, I give to you the Crossguard V2 with crystal reveal and removable battery. How does this work? Well, this is quite a simple system. Let's just start it. That's the tri-LEDs. And this is a Neopixel blade plug. So that's that. So here what we have is a special swappable and removable cart which holds the crystal chamber, the recharge port and USB data port, the kill switch and the battery, and it all comes out the back. It actually holds a 20 millimeters bass speaker from Vico, the one that's 2 watts but can push it to 3 watts, which gives enough loudness to enter. I had to customize a little bit the inserts here to allow sound venting for once, because they're not very good at sound venting originally, and to go push on the speaker. And now you can see the crystal is still lit. You can have that because it's fun. It's directly powered by the battery. I can cut it. And so we have this connector that we developed with Valérian Louva, aka KR Sabers. You see, it gives you 4 power lines for positive and negative battery, and then it gives you 8 low intensity contacts, which allowed me in fact to get the 4 lines from the USB ports, the positive line from the kill switch, that's 5, the signal line for the Neopixel 3 pixel crystal, that's 6, and the 2 lines for the speaker. I developed it specially for the Crossguard, and on the other hand you see a lot of pogos, and this just slides right in and then connects. So with this cart, removable battery, I can swap my battery for trooping. I put it back in, I put another one back in if I'm trooping, then just slide it. And to make sure the contacts align, I actually used the screws from the cable holders. I made a groove in the chassis that makes them slide along and guarantees that the contacts are perfectly in front of each other. just when I'm closing the pommel, check I have the desired alignment for the grip blades. Close this, and that's it. Nothing moves, and I can turn it back on.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
There we go. Oh yeah, by the way, why can I run a Neopixel blade with only 2 pogos on each power line? Because they're fat 9 amps pogos. Yes, 9 amps per pogo pin, which means with 2 pins I have 18 amps possibly drained through, which is more than enough to run a Neopixel blade. This is a magnetic USB recharge and data port. Here we go. I know I have the power in the line because there's these little green lights, and that's useful. I just have to do this because there's a TP4056 inside the electronics chassis here that recharges the battery, but I can also, as you can see here, update my Proffie. Let's just reflash this Proffie. Why? Because I can. It's actually updating the Proffie just like this with this magnetic USB. That's something I love and I wanted to implement in my chassis for a long time. I just did it in this one with a USB. So there's a male USB plugged into the Proffie, and this is a female USB PCB that I have here running the 4 lines to the pogo pin PCB connection, which allows me in this removable battery cart to have USB access to the Proffie. And there we have, we just flashed the Proffie with the magnetic USB, and everything works fine. So let's put some blades in it. So that's the Neopixel main blade plug, and then on the sides just hollow blade plugs for the tri LEDs. Obviously, no, that's not quite obvious for everybody, but I'm not using tri-cree here because to light a very short side blade you don't need the full power of a tri-cree. So that's a cheap Chinese RGB LED, and it does the work quite fine. So let's see these acrylic side blades here. They're full. I just had to carve a little place for the LED. And I don't like at all, because this is meant for trooping, I don't like to drill and tap retention screw holes on the side emitters, because on the vents, because I find it ugly. So here we go, using some adhesive tape just to hold this in place. I think for trooping and showing off, it's more than enough. And I lost this acrylic blade that was meant for tri-cree. I converted it to Neopixel. I had to drill quite a lot at the end. The LEDs actually go until here. I would have cut the end because I don't like having the end not fully lit, but it's not my blade, it's not my choice. Sebastian can always do that on his own. This is so heavy with the acrylic and the steel core of the Korbanth, but it's gonna do the trick. And let's see how it works. It's actually a zigzag blade. So it means that the 2 LED strips are not in parallel, but they're in series. And they each act as an independent sub-blade, which means the unstable effect which has a lot of randomized effect in it, have different random settings on each side, which gives two different behaviors for the two strips. That's, in my opinion, the best unstable blade effect you can get. And it is brought to you by the Unstable Blade Style by Fernando da Rosa. He has an incredible library, check it out. I installed the color change fork of the Proffie OS. I only run with stable builds for clients, so I'm not going for the V3 at the time. It's the V2.61 CC with my special one button mod based on Daryl's one that I just slightly modified for a few stuffs. And it actually has color change because I find it that with this day blade, with the Neopixel blade plug and with the blade plugs, you have to run the LEDs in red because that's Kylo's color. But with these day blades that are very red already because they have this red paint on it, well, I like to use orange even if you want yellow inside. So I just put those three colors so Sebastian can choose. So let's go to orange. As you can see, it gives a lot of brightness because the core is actually running orange, but with the red of the day blades, it remains red to the eye, but very, very, very bright. Localize, lock up. Drag. And all the stuff you expect. So, that's pretty much it. It's quite heavy. It's well balanced. It's actually balanced like a medieval sword. So that's a good thing for Kylo, except the hilt here is so huge. But that's it. I did not make some system to fix this anymore. It's the original magnet fix. So magnet lock. So you should troop putting your hand on this side. Like this, so you can hold it. And just use this finger to actually activate the saber and then troop like this. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the concept. If you're interested in the chassis system, we can always talk about it. I am not taking orders. It took me 2 years to finish this one. I want this to become a hobby again. But the tech I develop, the connector, is going to be available at Kaleïn's Galactic Armory. The chassis system can be available. It's based on a design by Valerian, which I adapted to have the removable cart and all that. So let me know what you think about my second interpretation of the Korbanth Crossguard. Keep having fun with Star Wars. The movie's coming out. The last movie is coming out in a few days. We'll all enjoy that. I'm sure you're gonna be trooping, eventing, doing something, or just going in character to the movies. So enjoy it. Have fun. I know I'll be doing this here in Switzerland. I have 2 days, 2 crazy days ahead of me. I still have some things to finish. So may the force be with you. Thanks for watching and see you soon.